Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain you how to save data in the database. Here we will use MongoDB and save this body in a table in MongoDB and return this message. So for that we need a MongoDB database. I have created one on MongoDB Atlas. We have this testDB which has this table or collection called data. As we are saving data, I have created this collection called data. In that we will save whatever we are receiving in body. In Postman, you can see I am passing this name, role and status. This will be received in body and then will be saved in the database. So in this data table, we will see entries for this. So first of all, to connect to MongoDB, we need a connection string, which I have saved here. Then we need to install a package for MongoDB driver. To connect to MongoDB using this connection string, we need a MongoDB driver library, which will have insert, delete functions. So here we will import MongoDB driver. Before that, we need to install that package like we installed Express. Now we need to install MongoDB. So I'll say npm install MongoDB. So let's see in package.json. Yes. So now we have two packages, Express and Mongo. Now we can require that. Mongo client from MongoDB. Now we need to create an object. This is a class MongoDB client. We need to create an object with this URL. So I'll say constant client equal to new Mongo client, pass this URL. Okay, once the client is created, we need to connect it. Once the client is connected to this server, we create a DB instance. So client.db and name of the database is testdb. Once we have database instance, DB instance, we can start inserting data into any collection. Insert, select, find, any operation on this database we can do. So now once this is connected, I'll print a message connected to MongoDB. We'll run this and see what it says. So we'll remove any extra. Variable added. Okay. So now this program will run successfully only when this connection is successful. If any issue in the connection string or any type of connection problem, this server will not start. So once we are sure that server is starting, means connection is set up. So we'll again run this. Now it says connected to MongoDB and then server is running on port 3000. So now connection is working. Next step, we start adding data, which we will do here. We have this request.body, which we will save to testdb. Testdb, this is the database. In that we have collection data. Okay. In that we need to insert what? This request.body. So these are MongoDB syntax, collection dot insert one, and whatever data we want to insert, we can pass here. Now when we will call this API, pass whatever data in body, it will save in that table. Let's run it. Let's restart this server. Server is running. Now we need to hit this API and we will see if this data is saved or not. So we have this post API slash data, and this is the payload or body. Let's send this and you can see message saved, successfully saved data. Now we need to see if we have the data here in this collection. Okay, let's create a new one. Saved successfully and inserted successfully. So this way we can save the data in database. Now we change get API. So instead of this hard-coded data, we will fetch data from the database. So we'll remove this and then we'll do testdb dot collection data, and then we have syntax find one, or we will use find. We are not passing id for now, so we'll say find. Okay, so this line will hit the database, get the data, but it needs to return and save in some variable. So we'll create here let data equal to this. Right, earlier we had data hard coded one, now we have this data coming from the database. For now we are not using this id, we are fetching all the data here. Now let's see if it returns whatever we have that in the table. So we will change this to get and hit send. It's not coming, there is some error. Okay, so when we fetch the data, this find method needs a toArray method. Otherwise this request is not complete. This is all MongoDB syntax. So remember, when we are finding a list of data, we end it with toArray. So it will complete the request and return a array which we will return in the response. Now if we hit send, okay, we have to add await here. Okay, when we are making a request which can take time, we have to wait. And when we are adding await, we have to add async. Okay, you saw it takes some time sending request and fetching. So it waits at this point, gets the data, converts it into array, and then returns in the response. So we have these three records from the database. So now we have uh, data coming from the database. Async await, whenever we need to wait for some method, we have to add await here. And when we are awaiting, we need to make the function async. So it's called async await. So this method is now async await, which waits for the data to come from the database. Now we have here three records, and we want to fetch one with the name Sandeep123. Okay. So here we will add id equal to Sandeep. When we need to use ID here, but let's try with name. So this name will come as ID, and here we have to pass name as this ID, because in database we need to match the field name. Now we have only one record. Okay, and when we want to fetch just one top record, we use find one. This will throw error because find one does not need two arrays. Now it will return one object instead of array. So this way we connect the Express server we have created to the MongoDB database, and now we can persist the data and fetch from the database instead of any dummy data. Okay, if you have any doubt, let me know. We'll see you in the next video.